2 Honduran beans dropped off from the fine folks over at Street Brew Coffee. We got a medium roast and a dark roast, and I am so excited to dive into these coffees. And I thought, what better way to do it than show you guys my 4 favorite ways to brew up some coffee. So let's go brew. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. How is it going? If this is your first time here, my name is Caitlin and I am a coffee aficionado, which is basically a fancy way of saying a coffee addict. I love all things specialty coffee, and my goal here on the internet, whether it's TikTok or YouTube, is to share that passion with you and hopefully inspire you to start drinking better coffee. Coffee is my beverage of choice, and we're spending a lot of time at home right now, especially in Ontario. I want to share with you guys my 4 favorite ways to make and enjoy coffee at home. First step in drinking good coffee is, of course, having good coffee. In my humble opinion, there is nothing worse than cheap, stale coffee. Your best option is to find a local specialty coffee shop that is roasting fresh coffee on a regular basis. This ensures you're always getting the highest quality, freshest roasted coffee to work with and brew the best stuff at home. Today, I'm going to be using these awesome Honduran beans from Street Brew Coffee. Let's go make some coffee. We're going to kick this video off with my absolute favorite way to make coffee. I have a cup of it pretty much every single day, and that's a pour over, specifically with a Chemex. I love making my pour over with a Chemex in the morning. It's a cemented part of my morning routine, a way I practice self-care, really helps me focus in on the moment, just center my thoughts, and get into a good rhythm for the day. While this might seem like a super hipster, trendy way to make coffee, in my opinion, it is one of the best methods you can use to make an amazing cup of coffee every single time, and it's super consistent. The process of making a pour-over is like a ritual, and it's just as much fun to make as it is to drink the finished product. My favorite things about the pour-over method is that you can tinker and control every aspect of it. From water temperature to flow rate to the agitation to the ratios, everything is completely in your control, which allows you to spot problems during the brewing process and fix them right away so you can ensure that you're getting a great cup. Because you have control over every step of the process and you can customize everything, you can make your coffee based on your personal preferences so that you get a cup that you enjoy every single time. In general, a Chemex is going to give you a clean, sweet, smooth, and full-bodied cup of coffee, which is everything I want. Honestly, it just makes an awesome cup of coffee. Now, I might be a little bit biased because this is actually the brewing method that got me hooked on specialty coffee. It's how I learned to appreciate and enjoy black coffee. It literally changed my life. So give it a try. It may change your coffee journey too. Next up, we have a classic brewing method that I think every coffee brewer should have in their arsenal, the Aeropress. One of the best aspects of the Aeropress is its versatility. There are so many different ways to brew coffee with this bad boy. Espresso-esque coffee to drip coffee to iced coffee and everything in between, there are no shortage of options, and I think that's what makes it such a popular brewer for coffee lovers. This is the perfect brewer for anyone who travels a lot, just needs a quick brew in the morning, only needs to make 1 cup, or just doesn't have a lot of room on their bar. It's a jack of all trades, it's a plug in and play. From my own experience with the Aeropress, I found that it generally produces a lighter and sweeter tasting coffee, so I enjoy it more so in the springtime. Just personal preference. It's a hybrid between an immersion brewing method and a percolating brewing method, kind of the best of both worlds, a perfect marriage, and as such, it is a very customizable way to make coffee. Essentially, the Aeropress was created to be a quicker version of a pour-over, which we just covered. One that skips the drawdown and the whole filtered process, and instead replaces it with pressure. You can either use it inverted like I do, or the classic standard way. The classic way utilizes the original design, how it was made, and it's just placed on top of a cup and then pressed using the plunger. The inverted method, on the other hand, involves turning the Aeropress upside down and then actually flipping it on top of the cup right before the press. Because of this, the inverted method allows more time for the coffee and the grounds to saturate and be immersed together, resulting in a much richer tasting cup of coffee. Moving along to probably my second favorite way to make coffee, and by far the most versatile machine on my bar, is my Brew Barista Express espresso machine. One of the reasons I love this machine is because of its convenience and versatility. I find myself making some type of espresso-based drink on this bad boy at least once a day, and I'm constantly making it for other members of my family as well. My personal go-to is a caramel latte, either iced or hot. It really doesn't matter. Either way, I am going to enjoy it. I originally purchased this machine just to make lattes, but it does not stop there. There's a hot water spout for easy Americanos. You can pull straight espresso shots in seconds, amazing cappuccinos, and the list just goes on. There's so many benefits to this machine. If you know anything about specialty coffee, you know that the world of espresso is its own beast. It requires completely different equipment, different ways to make coffee, thus a higher price point for entry. This is a major reason why I actually ended up choosing the Breville Barista Express. While its price tag is a little higher, it's really the complete package for an entry-level to intermediate-level espresso machine. I've experimented around with a few cheaper-level espresso machines, and they are very hit or miss. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. This machine has been great, and I highly recommend spending a little extra money to get that built-in grinder and the complete package to start enjoying some amazing cafe-level drinks. Espresso, of course, is a more hands-on type of coffee making. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of dialing in your machine, and some patience to start pulling some great shots. However, once you finish tinkering and your machine is dialed in and ready to go, you are going to get an amazing espresso shot within about 30 seconds. Not too shabby, by far the fastest way to get caffeine into your body in the early morning. Lastly on my list, I have to show some love to cold brew coffee. Now, when I say cold brew, I do not, and I repeat, do not mean iced coffee. They are two completely different drinks. I know it's really easy to confuse the two, but cold brew is brewed cold and steeped over a long period of time, usually 12 to 18 hours, depending on the method that you're using. Sometimes I get too impatient to wait and I settle for iced coffee, but I promise, when made properly, the wait for cold brew is definitely worth the payoff. Trust me. Since hot water isn't involved in the brewing process, you get a much less acidic and bitter coffee and instead are treated to a smoother, bolder taste. The taste of cold brew is really unique and brings out different flavor notes, which is a nice change from hot coffee from time to time. Secondly, because of the way cold brew is made, it is a very concentrated type of coffee. Therefore, it's stronger and contains more caffeine than your average cup of coffee. So if you like a strong, extra caffeinated, smooth tasting coffee, I would highly consider messing around with some cold brew. My own personal favorite way to make it is in a French press, and let me just let you in on a little game changer here for you. Do not put your cold brew in the fridge to steep. The cold in cold brew is subjective to hot coffee, therefore regular room temperature coffee is cold. If you leave your cold brew out on the counter, the grounds don't go through any kind of extreme temperature changes during the brewing process, which actually leads to a better extraction and a better tasting coffee. After you're done your extraction, definitely put that bad boy in the fridge so it'll last a little bit longer. Cold brew requires significantly more amounts of coffee to start brewing with. The good news is you'll have it on hand for quite some time. It's totally worth it. Well, it looks like I have brewed up all my coffee for today. There you guys have it, my 4 favorite ways to brew coffee at home. Pour overs to cold brew to espresso, and of course the beloved Aeropress. I know I can count on these methods to produce an amazing tasting coffee each and every single time. Each method offers its own strengths and weaknesses depending on what you're looking for in a cup of coffee. I've done my best to highlight those, so hopefully you can make a more informed brewing decision next time you go to brew a cup at home. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite brewing method is. I'd love to know. There's lots of great brewers that didn't make my top 4. Lastly, before I sign off, remember that in order to make good coffee with these brewing methods, you need to pair them with good quality freshly roasted coffee. Friends, it is time to ditch that stale grocery store coffee and find yourself a specialty coffee roaster near you to pick up some great freshly roasted beans. It will make a massive difference and change your entire coffee experience. Trust me. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Make sure you guys hit that like button and please hit that subscribe button. Join our coffee community right here on YouTube for more coffee brewing tips. I will catch you guys in the next video, and remember, drink better coffee.